ending. So the start of 2020, I make one of the worst decisions I've ever made in my life. Besides the choice of time to take that water sip. That was... Most comedians wait to a big laugh to do it. I wait till there's absolute silence and just everyone's just watching me drink water. It's a lot of pressure when everyone's watching. As I'm doing it, I'm like, this was wrong. This is a bad decision. So I make one of the worst decisions of my life, right? I move into a small one-bedroom apartment alone. Yeah. Does anyone live alone in here? Oh, fuck, all right. The lonely night, hey? Okay, not bad at all. I do. Who would? Do you like it if you would? Yeah, what do you like about it?
No one else.
No one else. Fucking, well, you sound like a barrel of laughs. Look, to be honest, sorry to be mean, I was kind of like you, to be honest, because I wanted, like, you know, autonomy. I wanted to be my own person. I wanted to make my own decisions. I didn't want to run it past anyone. But what I didn't realise about living alone, and this is going to sound insane, right? But what I didn't realise about living alone is that you are fucking alone. I know that doesn't make sense, does it? But I thought there'd be other people there. I know it's hard to make sense, but every time I thought about it, there were all these people in my apartment and we were doing cocaine and, like, obviously I was still doing lots of cocaine, but it was just me, you know, just me. Just looking in the mirror being like, you again, mate, how are you, you know? Like, it wasn't healthy at all. And it wasn't a good apartment. I don't want you guys to be like, oh, you know, he's doing good, you know. Like, it was a bad apartment. Like, it couldn't get the internet for like the first month. It had no internet. The NBN, I didn't even know that was legal. Like, every day I was sitting there waiting for the UN to turn up and be like, we'll get you out of here, mate. Like, we're choppering you out of here. I couldn't get the NBN, so this is what I had to do for the first month of lockdown in Sydney. Every day to use the internet so I could send a few emails to, like, work stuff. I'd have to go down to the local McDonald's to use their internet. And you think that's all right, but the McDonald's don't call their Wi-Fi, they call it Wi-Fi. Yeah, which is pretty clever and funny, and, you know, and if you haven't worked out what they've done there, they've combined the word Wi-Fi with the popular McDonald's menu item fries to create, honestly, the most degrading experience possible for an adult. Do you know what it's like to walk in there being like, fingers crossed the Wi-Fi is good today? And then half the time you've got to put the password in. The password is always, I'm loving it. It's always, I'm loving it. And you're typing in being like, I've never loved anything less. And then it always doesn't work. Like, it never works, right? So you've got to go up to the counter and talk to the confused 12-year-old girl that works there. And you've got to go up there and you've got to do the Wi-Fi dance. You know, like the Wi-Fi, when you've got to ask for Wi-Fi. It could be your best friend in the world and you turn into a completely different person. You're like, hey, do you have the Wi-Fi? Like, your voice goes, hey, do you have the Wi-Fi password? I just wanted to get on the Wi-Fi. I've got to stream this Wi-Fi. Well, your hand starts doing stuff it's never done before. You're like, do you have the Wi-Fi? You're like trying to touch Wi-Fi to demonstrate. You're like, do you have some of this Wi-Fi that I've got? I just want to use it, put it in my computer. So you go to the confused 12-year-old girl and you're like, hey, do you have the Wi-Fi? Some of the Wi-Fi? And she's like looking at her notes and she looks up at you and she's like, we actually don't have anything called Wi-Fi. And you're like, don't make me say it out loud. You know, I'll use it, I'll think it. And then you check her name tag, it says Jessica. You're like, thought so, actually, thought so. Makes sense. Makes sense. So I'm just in this one bedroom alone, in this apartment alone for like it's just awful, right? I just got blind drunk every night. That's what I did. That's how, in 20 years' time, people were like, what was the lockdown? What was the pandemic like? I was like, I drank a lot of red wine. That's what I did. And it was fine, right? I quite like drinking alone. A lot of people say you shouldn't drink alone. They get very angry. They're like, you can't do that, it's bad for you. And I think they're losers. Yeah, that's the joke. That's not even a joke. That's just my statement. I think they're losers because I think it's awesome. I do. This is what it is. If you've never tried it, by the way, this is what drinking alone is. It's you who you already don't like that much. Like, let's be honest. You're not the best. And then you have a drink and you're better.
Yay.
Yeah. Was that yeah or no? I don't know, but I'm taking it as a yeah.
Yay.
Yeah, it was just a groan. I don't know what that was. Maybe I'm having an aneurysm. Who knows? From all that drinking. Does get you into trouble though. This happened January 2020. I'm at home, I'm on the lounge, I'm drinking glass of wine after glass of wine, and I'm watching the 24-hour news. Now, I don't know if you guys remember, started January 2020, the entire east coast of the country was on fire, right? A lot of people have forgotten. Worst bushfires in Australia's history, right? It's horrible, horrible time. And I'm on the lounge and I'm watching the news. There's firefighters, there's fighters, there's bombers, right? And I'm just getting drunk. Glass of wine after glass of wine. And I got so drunk alone that night that I woke up in the morning to an email telling me I had volunteered to become a firefighter. Yeah. That's when you're like, maybe I should go to a meeting. Maybe I should. I think I qualify now. I'll forward that email and they'll be like, you should have come a long time ago. Think about that imagery, just me on the couch alone, drinking, fighting back the tears, looking at these firefighters, getting all patriotic, being like, I'm coming, boys! We are one, but we are many. Just like lighting candles all around my apartment, and then pouring them out individually with a 600mm Mount Franklin, being like, I could do it, I could do it, I actually could. I'm not like ScoMo, I could hold a hose, get me in there. I'll be Mr. November, I'll take my shirt off for the calendar, I'll do it. And I've only just started telling people that, I'll be honest. What are we now, April? And I've just had the guts to admit that I did that to people, right? Because believe it or not, it doesn't paint you in a very good light. People don't think, you know, you're a hero when you tell them you got drunk and signed up to the New South Wales RFS at their greatest time of need. But you know what's a lot harder than admitting you did that to people is the next morning, waking up and having to send the follow-up email. That's a tough draft, a very tough draft. This is what I went with. Oh no! That was a strong opener, I thought. So sorry about the above. Few too many glasses of Shiraz last night. Good luck with the back burning. You just shut the laptop and you're like, I'm moving to Darwin. That's what's happening. I'm going to get a Hotmail account and move to that. They won't track me up there.